I can't do this anymore. I have to think about this baby.
It's our baby.
Well, you should have thought about that.
What can we do? I don't know if there's anything we can do.
How did it get to this? My God.
Be careful, because y'all might be looking at a charge too.
I need Zach to know that he was wrong. So you just gonna leave him up at the jail?
Every second he's in there is gonna drive him crazy.
I want him to learn his lesson.
I was gonna say suffer.
You are gonna be my wife and the mother of my child. What else was I supposed to do?
I don't know if I can allow myself to love you like I want to. Zach, I am moving on with my life.
She's gone.
All bets are off.
And what the?
When there's nowhere left to hide.
He just threw it all away. You just gonna give up like that?
These people are gonna be in your relationship whether you like it or not. The thing is who you gonna listen to.
I'm choosing my family. I love you. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. Zatima!
Hey y'all, it's your girl Missniecytv and I'm here to break down the trailer for Zatima Season 3B. The trailer starts off and we see Zach standing in jail and I'm like, that's what you get for making a stupid decision. I know that you want to defend Fatima and not look weak, and I know that what your brother did was bad, but you also have more to lose than he does. Then we see Fatima at the law firm in her office and she looks all stressed out, but she has every right to be. Then we see Zach sitting in jail and he's talking to Fatima and Fatima's like, I gotta think about my baby. And Zach is like, that's our baby, and she's like, you should have thought about it. Zach should have honestly thought about a lot of things before he did what he did, but did he do that? No, and now he's sitting in jail. Cause when Zach sees Red, he doesn't hear nothing, see nothing, or feel nothing until afterwards, and then he starts feeling bad. And then we see Fatima dodging Zach's calls, and like she told him she wasn't gonna come see him, write him, or visit him if he went after his brother, and that's exactly what he did. Over at Zach and Fatima's, Preston and Zach show up because they hear that Zach is in jail. And in the leaked episode, we see that Bryce and Preston go up to the jail to visit Zach, but before they even go to the jail, Preston tells Bryce that Zach might not even want to see him right now. Could this be because Bryce told Preston about Dr. Reed, and Preston told Zach that Bryce was the one that called Dr. Reed to him. And Dr. Reed told Zach that Bryce was the one that told him what was going on, so that's why he came to the bar. Over at the hospital, Connie and Fatima go to visit Jeremiah, and Connie asks Fatima, how did it get this far? Connie, that's what we want to know, because how did Jeremiah go from halfway being conscious when he got beat up to the hospital saying that he's dead to him being alive? And Connie, if you're referring to how did this escalate to a bigger situation, I honestly don't think it would have escalated that far if Jeremiah didn't shoot it. I think originally what happened was Zach would have beat him up and it went about his day. He would have still done him in and did him really bad, but I don't think it would have been to that magnitude. Then we see Angela and she's looking out her window talking about oh my God. She looks terrified because she'd be looking at Sean. Could Bryce be stalking her again on the low? Could this be somebody else? Then we see Fatima at the hospital, and this is when I think she first walks into Jeremiah's room. She has a surprised look on her face because she sees that Jeremiah is alive. After the police arrested Zach for Jeremiah's murder, he's sitting in the hospital bed alive. Fatima probably has so many questions going on in her head, like what the heck is going on? At the barbershop, we see Mr. Tyrone talking to Tony and he's like, y'all better be careful. Tony asked Mr. Tyrone, what we gotta be careful for? Mr. Tyrone's like, y'all might be catching a charge too. Mr. Tyrone is like, y'all might be catching a charge for the way that Zach whipped y'all ass. I feel you, Mr. Tyrone, cause Zach did not have to do them like that. Flip Tony over with one hand, pin Nate up against the wall. Either Nate or Tony defended themselves, and it has me wondering, are they scared of Zach? We see Zach getting carried back to his cell, and I'm like, Zach is really locked up, they won't let him out. Then we see Fatima at the hospital talking to Connie, and she's like, I just want to teach Zach a lesson. And Connie's basically like, since you know the truth, now you gonna let him sit in there? And Fatima's like, I just want to teach him a lesson. What she's trying to teach him is, he can't think that every time he do something, he's gonna get away with it. And he also needs to stop thinking that every time he gets in trouble, Fatima's gonna be the one to bail him out. This time she's not making it easy for him. She was trying to warn Zach about what was gonna happen if he did what he did, and he didn't listen. He has a lot more to lose by going to jail for this. and he didn't even think about his children that he has to raise. He might have considered Fatima as the forefront of the reason why he did it, but he didn't actually consider her feelings. Back over in there, we have Connie, Nate, and Tony talking, and Nate is basically like, the longer we leave him in there, the longer he's gonna go crazy. I guess Nate is trying to figure out a way to get him out, even though you should, because Nate and Belinda are the real reason that this happened. If neither one of them opened their mouths, Zach wouldn't be in jail. But even if you want to be technical, all of them are wrong in some way. They all had a part to play in this, especially Fatima. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, we see Fatima waiting outside for Dr. Reed, because Dr. Reed came over to see if she was okay, because I guess he heard what happened. Dr. Reed and Fatima have a little counseling session, and she's just like, I just want to teach him a lesson. And Dr. Reed is like, so basically you want him to suffer. I'm glad that her and Dr. Reed are having this conversation about Zach. I know that Dr. Reed has to be disappointed in the actions that Zach made after he had a good conversation with him about not letting his past or his brother determine the decisions that he makes now. Zach didn't listen to a word that man said because Zach was going to do what he wanted to do anyway. Zach finally gets out of jail, and where's one of the first places that he goes? He goes to the hood. Do I know why he goes there? Probably to talk to Kanye or something. He better not be there to go look for Jeremiah again, because I'm going to be like, boy, didn't you learn your lesson the first time? Then we see Zach and Fatima share this cute moment in the car, and Zach is looking at her with so much admiration and love. I'm like, when can our relationship go back to their happy place? A relationship shouldn't be this much drama. Oh, we know what the back half of the season's argument is going to be. Is Fatima blaming Zach for what he did, and Zach happened to own up to his actions. Fatima and Zach are having a discussion, and Zach is like, well, you're about to be my wife again, the mother to my unborn child. What I was supposed to do? Zach, well, if you're smart enough to know these things, why weren't you smart enough to think about that before you did what you did? You didn't think about Fatima being your wife then, nor did you think about the baby that y'all have to raise together. Zach honestly wanted to beat Jeremiah for his own personal reasons due to the childhood trauma that he has from him. This was not about Fatima at all. Fatima might have been the deciding factor of why he wanted to do it, but Zach had his own personal reasons. He wanted to beat Jeremiah for all them years that Jeremiah put him through hell. Then we see Zach about to fight some man, because it looks like he's kissing Fatima, but it's not Fatima, it's Fatima's friend Leslie. Then we see Zach get thrown to the ground. I'm like, Zach, you might not have no dog in this fight, because the person that's fighting Zach is Fatima's friend. The one that he thought was kissing Fatima, but he was actually kissing his friend Leslie. His name is Malak. Then we see Fatima talking to Zach in jail, and she's like, I don't think I could love you in the way that I thought I could. I like how this ties into season 6 of Sisters, because remember when Zach told Fatima, tell me when you don't think you could love me anymore. I'm glad that Fatima's finally realizing that she doesn't have to stay with Zach to love him, and she deserves so much better and her baby. Side note, whoever edited this trailer is messy, because as soon as we hear Fatima say, Zach, I've moved on with my life, they show Fatima hugging Dr. Reed. Then we see Preston being Zach's private investigator, Inspector Gadget, all of the above. Zach, I understand that you want to keep tabs on Fatima and make sure she's alright and have everything she needs. I know you heard about the way Fatima's going about the situation, but having Preston report her every move to you is kind of crazy. Then we see Fatima's friend Malachi talking to Zach, and he's like, all bets are off. And I'm like, I know you're not getting smart with this man in his own house. Malachi, you really got some nerve, and if Zach didn't just get out of jail, I probably think he would be back in it for a bit. And Malachi better not be talking about Fatima when he's talking about all bets are off, because exactly what are you referring to? Then we see Zach going inside his house, and he looks mad. I wonder if he got a call from Deja saying that there's a guy inside there. Deja is very nosy and very messy like that. Plus, she would want to start something with Fatima since Fatima destroyed her house. We see Zach make it to the kitchen, and he's trying to pull the guy off Fatima, but it's actually Leslie and Malachi. Why do they think it's okay to get down to business in somebody else's house? That is totally disrespectful. And I'm not mad that Zach threw this man around like he was a rag doll, because he has every right to do that, because why are you getting out of business in my house? Then we see Fatima yelling at somebody, talking about some enough, and I'm like, whoever she's talking to is definitely about to put a rifle over a pregnant lady. I really wonder who she could be talking to. Could it be Leslie and Malachi? She's absolutely fed up with whoever she's talking to. Then we see Connie and Tony embracing, and I'm still thinking about, they used to have feelings for each other or something. It's deeper than we're just family, we're just friends. I think this is on the day of Miss Gladys' funeral. Over at Angela's house, we see her talking to Bryce, and it looks like she's trying to smooth up to him and try to get him back. Angela, what are you trying to get that man back for? Because every time you sleep with him or look at him, you're going to think about how he likes guys. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, we see Fatima talking to Connie, and this is what happened in episode 12, because she's telling Connie that she don't want to go see Zach because she's done with him. He didn't listen to her. And Connie's like, so what happened? She's like, well, Zach went to jail for the murder of Jeremiah. She's like, what? Something don't sound right. That's how the episode ends, and now we see that Connie and Fatima went to the hospital to check on Jeremiah, and then we see Tony talking to somebody, and he's like, those people are going to be in a relationship no matter what. And I'm like, I hope he's not talking about Nate and Belinda. What you mean they're going to be in his relationship no matter what? He could cut them off as well as he could cut you off if he wanted to. After Gladys' funeral, everybody goes back to Zach's house to chill and talk about memories of Miss Gladys and everything like that, like they normally do at funerals, right? Zach is probably going to be like, who y'all? And they're going to be like, I'm looking for Jeremiah. Jeremiah done got himself into trouble that he's probably not going to get out of. See, the first thing that Fatima does when them three guys walk into her house is she protects her stomach. All I know is that Fatima better not lose that baby. Back over at Angela's, we see Angela get into a tussle with this old guy, and the police are there. I'm like, Angela, didn't Fatima tell you that letting all these people in your house is going to get you in trouble one day? Apparently this guy is named Humphrey, one of Angela's sugar daddy. I wonder what happened which led to this altercation. And I hope Angela has learned a lesson about bringing all these men into her house, especially ones that she really don't know like that. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, we see Preston and Zach embracing the day of Gladys' funeral, and I'm glad that Preston is there to support him. What I definitely can say is that Preston has been a better friend to Zach during this whole season than Tony and Nate have been in the past 3 seasons. Then we see Fatima singing at Gladys' funeral, and I'm like, what song is she singing? Amazing Grace, Eyes on the Sparrow, or Precious Lord? Then we see Zach, Fatima, Tony, Connie, and Nate embracing, and he's like, I'm choosing my family. And I'm really glad that the guys and Connie have accepted Fatima into their family. And I hope after all that they've been through, I hope that they start treating each other like family and not people that they actually hate. I'm talking about Nate specifically. Then we see Zach and Fatima in the bed together, and he's like, I love you. But one thing I did notice is in the scene is that Fatima took her makeup. Then we see somebody in the bed, and it looks like they came down to business, and Fatima's standing there like with a shocked look on her face, and she probably thinks it's Zach. But 9 times out of 10, it's Leslie and Malachi again. And I'm like, why do they think it's okay to get down in somebody's? Back to the night at Gladys' funeral with the 3 guys coming into Zach's house looking for Jeremiah. What probably happened was Jeremiah got some drugs on credit, told him that he was going to pay him back, and never paid him back. So now they're looking for him to pay his debt. This all leads to a fight, and everybody and their mama fighting. Nate fighting, Tony fighting, Preston even fighting. And you know what happens when guys lose fights? They don't take it on the chin anymore. They like to shoot. Shots ring out, and the next thing we know, here's Zach screaming Fatima, and I'm like, I hope Fatima did not get shot. But let me know what you guys think about the trailer. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn your bell notifications. Bye!